Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and today I want to chat with you guys a little bit about why I squat and deadlift barefoot. And this is a more controversial topic than one would expect it to be, to the point where I've seen some experts even claim it's dangerous, so you could slip and you could fall. Well, in my case, I have a very grippy floor. And as far as barefoot, what I mean is no shoes, because obviously we can't deadlift barefoot. It's not particularly safe. Unless you have a very smooth bar with non-aggressive knurling and you're using straps, right? We have to wear deadlift socks, and deadlift socks are required in competition for a reason, right? And people who don't train heavy might not understand this, okay? When we deadlift correctly, the bar is very, very close to our shins, and it usually makes contact. Usually makes contact at some point in the pull. Deadlift bars, or any good power bar, has extremely aggressive knurling, and it will rip a 6-inch chunk of your skin off. And you will bleed all over the place. And you can't bleed in competition. It's not allowed to bleed on the floor. So they make you wear socks. You have to have covered shins. Okay. Now that aside, I still don't have shoes. And then the same thing with my squatting. I squat without shoes. In fact, I do all my training without shoes these days. Why bother? Why throw the shoes on? I already do these other lifts. But it's not that there's advantages to all the lifts to not wearing shoes. It's just that there's no point in putting them on. Like why start your training with no shoes and then throw them on? What's the point? And I know some people would argue in public gyms, the hygiene purposes and everything else, but again, that's between you and the gym owner. But here's what we're seeing. We're seeing more private gyms becoming a bigger deal for people who are serious about their goals, right? The majority of people at this point, more and more, who are serious about their goals don't train at commercial gyms. They really don't. Like people who are serious about getting strong, less and less of them. They tend to go to more private gyms, specialized gyms. More and more people are going to home gyms. Okay, so the home gym era is really beginning because of all the lockdowns and everything. Companies can't even produce equipment fast enough. Everyone still wants to buy, they just can't get it. We're going to go to a point to where everyone's going to have home gyms who's serious. Not everyone, but a pretty sizable chunk of people at this point. I had 7 clients build home gyms just during all of this. 7. See, these are people who are committed, right? They're hiring a coach. They didn't have room for home gyms. They have home gyms now. So we can make our own rules. So let's come to the point. What's going on with no shoes? I legitimately believe that for building strength, shoes may be a disadvantage. And I got a lot of this from Chris Duffin. And before people say, oh, does he even know? Yeah, he knows. We've talked about it. Chris is a very legit dude, right? He's serious about strength. You know, he's serious about strength, and he recognizes when other people are serious about strength too. You don't have to be at his level. You have to recognize that. He's also a very intelligent guy. I mean, a lot of people might take a glance at someone like Duffin and say, oh, a guy who lifts that sort of weight. They might think, oh, that guy, first glance, who don't know anything about him, maybe he's a dumb meathead. Actually, he's an engineer by profession. Graduated in the top of his class in engineering school. Designs all his own barbells. Has a shop to machine them. In addition to all his discussion of strength and biomechanics. He's actually an intelligent person who just happens to squat 1,000 pounds and deadlift like 1,000 pounds. Okay? The guy is very intelligent, and he really does know what he's talking about. The guy really and truly knows what he's talking about. He promotes the barefoot training. Why? It's about building strength and rooting to the floor. Over time, and that's the same thing he told me. He goes, you've been doing this for a while, but over time, this is going to make you stronger. It's not a short-term thing. All right? We're talking about doing this for years. The whole point is that you can spread your feet more. Your feet are more planted to the ground. You can work on stretching your toes out. You can work on rooting to the ground better when you don't have shoes in the way. Okay, you can disperse everything more evenly across the foot. You also don't have all that support around the ankle. Now, people will say, but isn't that dangerous? Don't you need that support? No, you don't. You see guys like him squatting and deadlifting 1,000 pounds without shoes on. He doesn't have hurt ankles. Helps build your ankles and feet. Okay? Because you do not have the extra support around your ankles, when you start doing this, they're going to get stronger. And it's not like wrist straps where you have that compressive strength to help raise the hydrostatic pressure. It's just, stiff thing around your ankles. Same thing, it limits your feet. It limits the ability of your feet to spread across the floor. All right, when you're able to spread your feet better into the floor and root better, it will help build the musculature of your feet to handle and support heavier weights. You get adaptive stress. Now, people say you can't build ankles, that's bone. You can build the tendons. Okay, when you start building all the connective tissue in your ankles, your feet, the smaller muscles of your feet, all this support structure, by training barefoot, it gives you a more stable platform to root to the floor with. All the stuff we talk about on bench pressing and building the upper back. Why? It gives you a more stable platform. You have a stronger platform to drive into the bench. All right, the same with this. It gives you a more stable platform. And I see people say, well, you should wear shoes. It helps with my bad ankle mobility. Watch me squat. Why do you need ankle mobility to squat? Do you not know how to squat? Like, are you trying to specifically Olympic squat? Like, are you trying to master the front squat or something? Are you trying to master Olympic lifting? If the answer is no, then what are you doing? Why do you care about dorsiflexion? Watch me squat. How much ankle mobility do you think it requires to squat? Well, you don't know how to squat. And I'm going to be honest, if you squat like an Olympic lifter and you're talking about squatting the heaviest weights possible, you don't know how to squat. They squat the way they do to help them with their specific lifts. It's for carryover to the clean and jerk. Not because it lets you lift the most weight. And by the way, lifting the most weight on a squat means we're involving the most muscles. You think on a wide stance squat where you sit back correctly, do you think you need a lot of ankle mobility? No. So what good are those damn shoes doing you? They're a crutch. They're keeping you weak. Keeping you weak. And keep in mind, guys, look at all the different stuff I use to train. I'm not opposed to using tools anymore. I'm not opposed to using the best tools possible to get strong. And what I'm telling you is that the barefoot training is a tool. It is a valuable tool. It will build up the strength of your feet and your ankles. And the same thing, you want to talk about being injury resistant. How about having strong ankles and tendons and everything else in feet? You're less likely to get hurt. You're less likely to twist an ankle. Why not build them up? You're relying on the shoes to give you support that you could build your own body to have. And I'm not saying you can't use the shoes in competition. By all means, if you need to you have to wear shoes in comps, throw your shoes on, of course. Okay. But the barefoot training will make your support structure stronger. You'll build stronger tendons. You'll build stronger muscles through your feet, and it will help you learn to root to the ground better. And if you have a more stable, wider platform rooting to the ground, I mean, these are lifts to where we drive into the floor. 100% of the weight of these lifts drives through our body into the floor. Building that support structure is going to make you more stable. Okay? In the long term, it's going to let you lift bigger weights. And I know some people say, well, how big is it in the grand scheme of things? That's probably very, very minor. Yes, it is. But minor adds up, and here's the other thing. You're getting a minor benefit for less effort. Less effort. If you only wear the socks to deadlift, take them back off. All right, you get less dirty socks, less dirty shoes, less having to take stuff on and off. Okay? You have to have less stuff. You're getting more for less. Alright guys, well that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.